Hello, welcome to Full Time Reds. It's me, Chris Brackets, Kev. Kev, we fucking won a game.
We won a game, mate.
I know. We actually beat Man City 1-0 and thoroughly deserved it. What a win. So
what a game, mate. What a game.
We'll do our stuff in a minute, but let's be honest, Kev. We'll peek behind the curtain. You and me both messaged him going, fuck me. The one game we missed, we win 7-1. We've got City next. Jesus wept. This is going to be fun, isn't it? And look at this. It wasn't quite the fun we were expecting. But Jesus Christ.
Craig Lowe with the smashing comment there. What a win. The quaddy is still on. Absolutely it is.
That's it. We're winning the league now. That's it. It's so good. But listen, this is what I know you and me took a lot of stick for this, but we can talk about transfers. We can talk about, and yes, they are a factor, but this is also about showing bollocks and showing playing the Liverpool way. And that is the standard Liverpool can play at and should be playing at. And if we played at that level more often, you'll twat better sides than City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is what you need to do. That's the level you need to play at. So I'm absolutely made up, Kieran. Looking happier today, Chris.
Looking happier, mate.
Honest to God, mate. I haven't watched any football this weekend. All I've watched is the women's game, and I literally turned the game on as it kicked off because thinking I could not be arsed with any of this. I'm made up.
I didn't watch any of the build-up. I saw the lineups, and I thought, look, it's a good place to start as any. We saw the lineups come out,
and we saw the meltdown.
Yeah, but I could understand where people were coming from, right? James Milner at right back up against Phil Foden, and but you got to look at it with the fixtures, with the amount of games that we've got coming. This is the kind of fixture where experienced heads are called for. So.
Yeah, and also with James Milner, it's not that he's been put in ahead of someone. He's been put in because the three options ahead of him, which are Trent's injured. Well, I mean, it's great he's on the bench today, but he's never going to start if he's been out with an ankle injury. The backup Ramsey's injured, and Gomez, who has been playing at right back, had to play centre back today because Konate's injured. So there's a reason Milner's playing today. It's because he's literally the fourth choice right back at the moment, and that's where we are.
Paul Gormley there, we're going to win the league. Let's not get carried away, Paul.
But the way I see today is we enjoy today, we'll revel in it, and we'll listen. The whole of the show is just going to be able to revel in it. The serious stuff starts tomorrow where make this count. This can't be a great beat City, and then we piss it up against West Ham.
Yeah, this has to be the start now.
This has to be the proper kick up the arse to go and run now till Christmas. Well, not Christmas.
Matt
November,
there in the chat. Thiago and Jota nullifying KDB. Gomez challenging every touch that Haaland had. Milner and Harvey shutting Foden down. Good pressure from Bobby and Mo. Absolutely. We'll get into all of that.
Yeah, there's so many big performances
Kevin Ball there was like watching Joe Gomez and VVD in the league-winning season. Unbelievable they are today. Absolutely, they fucking were. Joe Gomez was an absolute fucking monster today.
I think because he's been injured so much, Joe Gomez, I think people have forgotten how good a centre-half he is. He's unreal as a centre-half. He just needs a run of fitness and
just Craig Lowe. Chris and Kev look shell-shocked. Usual drop point script thrown out the window.
Fucking made up, mate.
Fucking thrown out the window with pleasure, mate. Thrown out the window. Klopp just said that. What was it there?
Because Klopp just said that was for Chris and Kev from the Trippers. So trust me, bro.
Yeah.
Listen,
good man. Jurgen is top boy. Jurgen is top boy.
The only thing I would have caps off today if he chinned Anthony Taylor. What a prick. We'll come to him as well.
Yeah.
And the other baldy fellow also lost his shit again, which was hilarious.
Right, look, starting lineup. So James Milner at right back, Gomez in the middle with Virgil, Robertson back in at left back, Thiago and Fabinho middle of the park.
Which is kind of what we expected.
Yeah, on Friday night, I was saying I wanted Salah through the middle, purely and simply because he causes havoc. And I think in the last, since the start of the season, he looks lost out on the wing. He doesn't get involved in the game often enough. So I was delighted to see Mo through the middle. And Harvey wide, Jota wide, Bobby in the 10. Were you happy enough, or did you understand where it was coming from?
Yeah, to be honest, there wasn't. I was kind of looking, going, it was Henderson or Fabinho as a flip of a coin because they've both been erratic. I think is the best way. But I thought Fabinho looked closer to his normal level. I thought against Rangers, and I didn't think Henderson would start because he'd done probably 4 games back-to-back, and he did seem to come off with a bit of a whack in the Rangers game. So I kind of expected Henderson to come off the bench. I thought it's not a bad thing to off the bench. I ummed and ahed whether would they do Nunez and do Salah in the 10, or do Nunez and Salah as the 2. But I thought they would have put. How would you fit Firmino? So
the only thing I would have done, or I would have thought he might have looked at, and I think he's got no choice now, is Darwin out on the left. But he decided to go with Jota, and
we'll come to that because we saw. Yeah. I'll be honest, Kev. We saw the best and worst of Darwin Nunez. I mean, luckily people can't see our WhatsApp messages because the expletives that came from me from that second half. Honest God, if I was an Anfield, I'd have killed him. I'd have killed him. Honest God, I couldn't believe that pass. That pass he doesn't do. But anyway, let's go back to the lineup. So you kind of looked at our lineup and went, yeah, get that. And, is it 4-3-3? Is it 4-2-3-1? Gives you a bit of a different thing. You assumed who's through the middle. So I think it threw a few people, including City, I think, a little bit. City's team, so you had Cancelo. Cancelo went to
wing back, wasn't he? Really?
Wing back almost,
Yeah.
And you had Kanye and Diaz in the middle, Ake left back, so it made sense. And we thought it'd be Bernardo Silva in the front 3, but actually it was Kevin De Bruyne was in the front 3, really, wasn't he? And given a bit of a freer role. I mean, Bernardo Silva, I mean, he's great anyway, but he looks better in the centre mid as much as I can't stand him.
He's an absolute shithouse, but if you have him in your side, you'll love him. He's the same as what Suarez was, really. If he's yours, you'll love him. If he's not yours, you'll absolutely hate everything about him, and I do, because he hates us with an absolute fucking passion. And to see him walking out of Anfield today with nothing fills me with nothing but fucking joy.
Yeah, and then obviously Phil Foden plays against Liverpool because, to be fair, Phil Foden is very, very good, and he always plays well against Liverpool. Yeah. I think Liverpool he's a bit like what Arsenal was to Robbie Fowler. He just certain games, he just lights up for it. And look, we all said that you and me said the same. Oh, Foden against Milner, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. I said we're going to have to cover him, and and I understand why people are getting worried. Was the one thing Elliot's not been great at this year is tracking back and covering his fullback. Yeah. Listen, all praise to the lad. And actually, I think this is the thing that's been around Liverpool that they haven't been doing is if someone missed a tackle, the mate snapped them next ball. It was never easy passes. And listen, City had chances, and we'll talk about City having chances. Yeah. I'll be honest, City will always create chances. They're that good aside.
Yeah.
But I felt first half, we limited them to chances that were ones you'd expect Alisson to save. I think the best chance he had was the chip, which he doesn't quite get right, and Alisson, manages to sort it.
But Alisson covered it, closed off the space. The other one was the header later on in the half. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I think the first half was intense. It wasn't cagey, but it was intense. It was helter-skelter for the first few minutes. Then City got into the game, had the ball, controlled the ball. Then we got a spell, and there were chances both ends, but nothing where you'd think, glaring misses. Jota had that header. If he'd got it into the corner,
he'd at least work the keeper.
In, but yeah.
And the other good chance we had was it was the cross that came in. Ederson, to be fair to him, does really well to tip it, and it falls. Unfortunately, it falls to Andy Robertson, who he just hasn't got the composure for a goal. And do you know what? Simicast hasn't got this either because he does the same thing. Well, I think it's a left back thing. They all shit the bed.
It's the one thing that, and he could have squared it for Harvey, who was in a better position, but his eyes light up. Robertson's eyes light up when he gets up. And we also got up the pitch and in the first half, a bit of vertigo, and the usual thing that happens.
And also in the first half, we got a glimpse of what would become the winning goal in the first half, where long ball out, which is clearly a plan by Liverpool, which is get the ball in behind him. And Salah, and you forget how strong he is, pins the centre-back, spins him, and plays in half. Now, Harvey, I just don't think he knows what to do. He doesn't know where to take it on his right and shoot, or I think he's looking for a run from Salah. You're sort of going, I think if that's Jota or a slightly more, or a Firmino, I think we just take it on the weaker foot and go, I'm just going to crack it and see what happens.
And Harvey's got that. He's got that. He can go on his right foot. But other than that, it goes in at halftime. It's 0-0. And we're in it. We look threatening, but credit where it's due. They look good, and they were good. They were good today for the entirety of the game. On the ball, they were really good.
And I think that's the thing. I think that's an important thing not to do is play down. Go, we were great, they were shite, because it diminishes the result. City were very, very good. City had more of the ball, which they normally do. They were a ball ache to get the ball off. But as Emmett puts out, bit of snide was back with Liverpool today. There was a little bit of nastiness. There was a little bit of, we're not standing for this. We were rattling Pep. We were rattling, the tone was set in the first minute where Bernardo Silva barges into Robbo. It's not really much, but he just gets the fuck off from Robbo. And but his reaction was really angry. It's almost like they weren't expecting Liverpool, because Liverpool haven't shown that.
Yeah. We've been sheepish in first half of games for a long time. We can score goals, and I think there was a stat put up in the middle of the second half that City have scored the most goals in the second half of games this season. I think
17. They got 17. We got 13.
We're second or third with 13. So it's like scoring goals isn't the problem for us. Our problem has been clean sheets. And we go into halftime. The lads must have gone into halftime and been like, big deep breath and chests out. We've done that, and go and do it again.
Because we did the two things that we haven't been doing, which is no silly early goals, which what we didn't do at Arsenal. No gifts. There was not a gift given. City had to earn every chance they created, and look, they will create chances because that type of side, but they had to earn it. Yeah. And it was really Red Steve saying brand new t-shirt. It is, new t-shirt put on today. Be Thiago one. Might have to keep this on actually.
I think
look at t-shirts.
But it's a case that we all said this City side will give up chances because of the way they play, and in the second half, Rob Maguire sums us up perfectly. Great result. We defended well. Still feels raw, and we are still finding our way. I think that is the perfect way of describing Liverpool at the moment. That's it in a nutshell.
I think 4-2-3-1. I think this is the way we're going to play. I think it's the best way of rotating what limited options we have in midfield, and we've got enough lads who can plug in the wider positions of the four. Jota can go there, Harvey can go there, Carvalho can go there, Nunez can go there.
Yeah,
but it's going to take time to
bed everything down.
To bed everything.
The confidence is going to come from this, and it's not the result. The result is great. We needed the result. The result is fantastic. For me, the performance against what is the best side in the country, and they are the best side in the Premier League, because you don't dominate us as a side with the ball the way they did virtually throughout the game. I mean, we had spells in the game where we had the ball. We never really had control of possession that you would say, we can relax a little bit here. They are a top side. And if you can't get confidence from that performance and that clean sheet and the intensity that we played at, that's the marker. That's how we have to go forward and treat every game from here on out. And if we do that, we will go on a run. We will rack up points, and we will shove it in doubters' faces. Guaranteed, 100%.
If we'd done that against Arsenal last week, we'd have slapped Arsenal comfortably.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what we didn't do. Dan Austin with a great start. City now one win in the last 20 seasons at Anfield, and I'm honest, the one win they've got is when we had no centre halves and no crowd. And I think this is a thing in City's heads now, because I think even Pep had made comments about this pre-match of we haven't beaten them yet with a crowd, and I think that's a thing in their head. I mean, as much as people don't want to believe this, in our last 5 games against City, in the 3 in the league, 1 in the FA Cup, 1 in the Charity Shield, still haven't beaten. City still haven't beaten us.
Yeah,
as much as we all worried about Milner last year against right back against Fulham, we still drew 2-2. Now listen, City win the league, so we are, but we definitely have a way of playing that City don't like, whether it's at home, whether it's away, whether it's neutral.
One sec, Chris. Hang on one sec. Where is it? Claire Dean.
Oh, there we
Happy birthday. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and you're going to have an absolute belting night.
Definitely. Well done. Happy birthday, Claire. Oh, it
does, doesn't it? It's like you get a win and everything just looks better. Everything feels better. It's that kind of win. But you get into the second half and I'll
hold my hands up. I said to you at half time, I would probably have tweaked it a little bit. I said to you, I wonder when you throw Darwin on. And we were debating, would it be for Jota? Maybe it's for Elliott. But I said, look, you've got to give it an hour. But we both said the same thing, which was, right, first 15, nothing stupid. Keep it solid. And listen, City dominated the ball. And I think they showed a stat after 15 minutes. We had 34 completed passes. They had 114.
Yeah.
They had to, do you know what? They had to, as Klopp would always say, you've got to go through the pain. You've got to accept the pain. Actually, which is probably what Liverpool have been doing this season, is that bit of humility of you're just going to have to grind it out sometimes. And sometimes you're just going to have to cover each other. You're going to have to snap into tackles. You're going to have to wind players up. But as the half was going on, we were getting more the long ball out, which was our tactic, which was working. They were shitting themselves with Salah through the middle. And Salah, listen, he's had loads of stick of ours. We said, like, it's not working, this going out wide thing. Salah's been tried through the middle before, and he's never really liked it. He seems to prefer that. But that, as a two with him and Firmino, worked brilliantly. And he could dominate their centre-half for such a small bloke.
Would you last some comments up there a sec? I've got a dog looking at me and looking outside, and I'm going to have things to clear up if I don't. So, give me one sec.
Okay. Chris Calder saying, I'll be honest, I kind of miss the brothers Grim post-match. This euphoria is hard to deal with. Listen, I'll take it wherever it comes, but we're not used to this euphoria at all. Vase the Flower, that slapping ref Taylor is a bloody disgrace. We'll get to him. He was out fucking rageous. There's no way of putting it. He is one of the most awful referees. And I think a lot of the over-the-top stuff and the silliness and the managers kicking off was caused by him. He was just an absolute gobshite. I mean, I can't stand him. Kev absolutely despises him even more.
Who's that?
Taylor.
Anthony Taylor?
Love him, don't you?
Knobhead.
Absolutely.
Fucking knobhead.
Yeah. But let's talk so the first big Liverpool chance in the second half. Firmino plays Salah through, and you're thinking, fuck me, we're through. This is 1-0. And you and me both went, how's he fucking missed? And you see the replay, Ederson thought it's a hell of it, because you see the deflection off his thumb, you're thinking, that is literally the inches from goal and not goal. It is a outrageously good save.
We've been here before, though, haven't we?
We could say you should chip him. And it's easy to say it, because we're just two lads sat at home going, you should chip him really, Mo, because that's what you always do. But Ederson does what Alisson does, comes out, makes himself big. That's a top save. It's one of the best saves you'll see. And look, credit Ederson, we'll City players stick, but that's an amazing, unless you're Anthony Taylor, who sees an amazing save and goes goal kick, because he's a prick.
But then you look at, I mean, for me, with that, I remember. Do you remember going back a few years ago with that decision that when they cleared it just off the line and it was a couple of centimeters difference and all that?
The stones.
12. And I sat there and like, these are the fine margins that points and games and things are decided on. And I looked at it and I thought,
because the following week,
are we going to regret this?
Yeah, because the following week they scored the winner 1-0 at Burnley, and it's that same distance over the line. And you know what? That you and me were both saying like, "Fuck me, don't make it go worse, make it count." Yeah. And then City score, and as apparently,
Mackie is asking in the chat. So will Klopp miss one match or three? Just one.
Just one. It touchline ban. It'd be interesting if he could appeal it.
Pep Linders will bring a book and we'll be good.
Yeah, admittedly,
trust the book.
It's great that he's not. He won't be the. I'm assuming there'll be ways of talking. Oh, there's always ways around these things. So,
But then they go up the other end. They score.
They score, and I'm thinking now. I'll be honest. The foul that's given for disallowing it, I'm not saying I missed that in real time. I thought Haaland kicked it out the keeper's hands.
Yeah,
he has two hands on it. Now, if you're Gary Neville, apparently he's never in control of it, and he's kicked out his fucking hands.
He's got two fucking hands on the ball. What more control do you want? He kicked it out of his hands.
VAR never looks at that. They go back.
No, they did. They did.
They showed the replays that the ref was seeing, and all they were showing the ref was the Fabinho incident. Yeah. That's all he looked at. And it's one of them where he does wrench him down.
Yeah, he does.
And Neville's right. And Neville's right in his description. Said he holds on too long. Said if he lets go 30 seconds earlier, you'd probably get away with it. Because then you just say he's out. You know what I mean? He's out muscled.
If he lets go while he's on his way down, he'll get away with it. But he didn't. That aside, that's one. That's a foul anyway. But Haaland kicked it out of his fucking hands. Every which way you look at that, that's a foul on the keeper. Every way you look at that, every day of the week. So even if people want to argue that the foul on Fabinho wasn't a foul, and we bollocks, it was a foul on Alisson because he got two hands on the damn ball.
Yeah. And then we saw the best thing we saw, and I do think this could be a little bit of a problem for City, is Pep's reaction, I think, translates into the team.
Yeah.
It's petulant. He's turning to the Anfield crowd and he's telling them to get louder, because he's basically obviously insinuated it's because you lot, we can't win. But surely the players, they must be going like, yeah, he's right, we can't win because of the Liverpool crowd. Thinking, you've got to get that out. You've got to get that out your team's head. Yeah. I don't mind because fuck me, it rattles him.
Yeah.
And then look, to be fair to City, they do dominate the ball. And then is it a corner or free kick that comes in? And Alisson takes it, and it's very Man United, the year we won the league. It's going down the middle.
Yeah.
But the spin from Salah, honest to God, Cancelo just out the ground, spins him like no other.
Spins him, does him.
He's never missing. He's never missing from that point. And listen, he does lift it this time. He's obviously learned from the first save. Great finish. That's what Salah's there for. Especially when we thought he was going off 2 minutes earlier.
The best thing for me about that goal, look, the delivery was excellent. The fact that Alisson ended up on his arse again, which is like not uncommon for him. He does this.
It's clearly a technique thing, isn't it?
It's to get the gets it on a trajectory to get the ball to fizz on. Whereas if you kick the ball out your hand and you get underneath the ball, it's just going that and it's coming down, but the ball doesn't go on. So you kick through the ball is going. You don't have to put anything on the ball, but the strength that Salah shows to pin Cancelo, turn him, and get away in one movement is exceptional. He took it on, and everyone knew what he was going to do. He was going to take it on his left foot. It was just a case of when. There was nothing that Ederson could have done. Ederson did everything he could. He narrowed the angle, made himself as big as possible. Salah just took the ball over him, and he's in. It was a
KDB free kick. Kev Ball makes a good point. If that was Trent, Kev, we've done enough of these shows now.
We've done enough of these shows.
We'd have 25 minutes of talk about how shite that is. And I'll be honest, Cancelo's been done for that numerous times. He got done for that in the Charity Shield. I think sometimes, look, this is not me saying Trent was brilliant. Trent's brilliant and he's very brilliant. He hasn't. He's not. By his standards, he's been poor. But there's quite a lot of highly rated fullbacks, Cancelo and all that, who get away with this sort of stuff. And the thing is, what helps Cancelo is, I think his mistakes are masked very quickly because they normally have someone in to cover him, which what he wasn't left with. But
I think Cancelo is a fabulous fullback going forward. I think as an attacking fullback, he's an exceptional fullback. Right foot, left foot, either side.
But no one's saying
it's rare that you see.
No one's saying replace him, though, are they?
But it's rare you see a fullback who can play left back and right back equally as good. But going forward, defensively, he's not there. He can be got it. He does smell himself a lot, and he thinks he's better than what he is defensively. And it was a case of Salah was just too clever. You know what I mean? That was a proper goal. You know, that was a proper number 9's goal.
Yeah.
You know, and this what I love the strength. I really do. I love the strength. The fact that here's a little winger, and he did it in the first half as well. He blew Nathan Ake off to the side and just Ake just bounced off him. Ake is 6'2".
He's a big boy.
And he just bounced off him. But Salah definitely has his Weetabix, man. I tell you, he turned Cancelo in, goal, bang, 1-0. Crowd erupts. Anfield was electric. Because I know
there's been a lot of criticism we've seen online and we've seen it in the chat about the crowd and how the crowd does or doesn't react. I do think sometimes that you've got to give the crowd something to cheer. Because games like 100%. This, the crowd don't need much enthusiasm to get themselves wound up for it and get themselves loud. Yeah. But you've got to also be honest, some of the footballers who've been serving up recently, there's not a lot to cheer for. Yeah. As much as you want to get behind your side, it's really hard when you're watching like the Brighton game going like, we can't string 3 passes together.
Yeah. But you get 1-0 up and you think here comes the avalanche. It's gonna come now. But
And
it's like we made the change.
He didn't really have a big save to make, did he, Alisson? He had one big save, which was the Haaland one, which he gets down low. I think Haaland scuffs it, but he gets down really low. Yeah. Palms it. But other than that, they're all like routine stuff. Mainly because I think a lot of the lads, bodies on the line, threw themselves in. So Henderson, just before the goal, Henderson came on for Fabinho. Makes sense. Fabinho's on a yellow, and he was starting to look a bit leggy. Nunez came on for Firmino. No problem for that. Gives a bit more of a physical option up front. Not Salah. Which, to be honest, you, me, both
How many people in the chat actually looked at his most coming off? What the hell is Klopp thinking?
Because let's be honest, I said to you, and I actually said, I was okay with the Salah sub at Arsenal because I thought he was shite. But I was thinking, like, don't take him off now. He's brilliant. But clearly, bit like Taylor, 4 officials can't read numbers, you know. Yeah. So Carvalho came on for Elliott, who, give him his props. Look, I never worry about Elliott going forward because I think he's got all the arrays and talent to pick a pass, you know, and, you know, he interplays his clever movements. Lad worked his bollocks off today. And this is the reason why Milner didn't get exposed, is he covered him. And the few times he got past him, Elliott's there to cover him. Gomez wasn't having to always shuffle over, which then meant we were solid in the middle. So we had 2 people on Haaland. So I'll give the lad credit. You know, that's the level now he's got to maintain. Is the intensity you've got to play at, you know, and go from there. Good to see Jones on the bench. I didn't expect him to come on, but, you know, he's an option for West Ham, or he's an option for Forest. Is it Forest?
Forest and the following weekend, yeah.
Forest the weekend. So he's an option for one of them, which again,
it's a nice we're going to need.
We're going to need.
But it gets in. It was 1-0. We made the changes. Then Salah gets the ball, runs down the wing, and it was like a WWE event where Bernardo Silva tries to.
In front of the linesman, you can actually see his shirt out here, and he's still holding on, so he's like dragging him along. It's like a cartoon.
Yeah, it's in a cartoon. Like you are going down by hook or by crook.
So Klopp charges down the line, tells the linesman what he thinks.
Yeah,
and then he sees Klopp says, "Ref, send me off." But what's ironic is, and this is how precious social media is as well, and I'll call it out. Do you remember when Klopp ran on the pitch when we scored the winner against Everton? How many wanted him banned and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Pep was on the pitch when they had a goal disallowed, and you could see it on the camera. And they're laughing about it on the commentary. Oh, Pep's on the pitch because he's upset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look, Klopp's going to get himself a 1-game ban. They can't appeal it. But if I'm honest, the club should be going to the PGMO and going, well, do you know why our manager got sent off? Look at that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect to see that in kids' football. I'd expect a kids' football referee to spot that. He's got his shirt yanking him down. It's not like he's going down, and to be fair to Salah, he actually is too honest. He's on his feet. He tries staying on his feet, and you're like, no wonder managers lose their shit. Honestly, God, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Anthony Taylor had an absolute mare again, and I'm not surprised. To me, he was one of the better referees, but this idea that the Premier League have this season of letting the game go and letting the game flow is a nonsense because it's so subjective. In the first couple of minutes of the game, he was blowing up for fouls that were just not fouls. And by the end of it, you got players being harangued left, right, and centre and thrown to the ground here, there, and everywhere. And
because the Fabinho yellow is I've no problem with the Fabinho yellow. Yeah, it's a yellow. But the same tackle was done 2 minutes later, and he was like, "Yeah, play on." You're like, "What?" You're like, "This is a bit of where fans get really wound up," and that's
Go on. Wax some comments up there a sec.
Right, we're going to bring up the elephant in the room because we then have a chance to make it 2-0. 3-1. Darwin, listen, I'll back a new Liverpool player as much as I can, and I always want a new Liverpool player to do well. But honest to God, I could have fucking killed him. Genuinely could. Darwin, I could have fucking killed him. 3-on-1, and I'll be honest, the defender's on his side. So you're thinking, just roll it. And it's 2-on-1 with the keeper. Win the game, that's it. You know, this is where Darwin will get stick for this, and rightly so. This is where you've got to use your brain and take personal glory out of it. Go for the team ethic. If we were 4-0 up, fine. Do you know what? Go for your shot. I don't give a shit. Yeah, it's 1-0 against Man City, who will get another chance and who will make you fucking
It was the one thing that I thought when he came on. Yeah, he was a threat, and he was a live wire. He was so attacking with his runs and everything going in behind. Brilliant. But his spatial awareness is so poor. I agree 100% what Gary Neville said in commentary. But it's like if he picks his head up and he sees it and he ignores the run, that's ridiculous. If he doesn't pick his head up and he doesn't see the run, that's worse.
Yeah, it's and that's where people will give him stick. The frustrating thing is, 5 minutes later, the ball's played down the line to him. He rinses Cancelo, cuts inside, and it's a glorious pass across goal, which is just ahead of Trent. Which then winds you up, and you're going like...
That's not very good, is it? That's not very good.
It's Guinness. Horrible stuff. But that's where you...
That's going down nice, man.
But that's where you get frustrated. You're going like, that chance that you created for the Trent one is actually harder than the Trent you balls up. So,
but they had a big chance as well. They had...
we'll come to that.
Yeah, the cross that came in.
And no City players in the box.
No, there was one that came in from KDB that Virgil cleared up and over the bar. And Haaland was Haaland was right behind it.
I was going before that. Foden gets it. He whips. It's a glorious ball in. Basically, Alisson can't touch it and defenders can't touch it, and all the City strikers are on top of the box. But yeah, the Haaland, it's a great header by Virgil. Virgil looked like Virgil, and he looks so comfortable.
BJ puts a fair comment there. He's like, to be fair to Darwin, you think Jota blocked off his vision to Salah, but the Salah one, Salah wasn't the ball. The ball was Harvey Elliott.
Yeah,
or was it Harvey Elliott? No, it wasn't. It was whoever came on in Harvey Elliott's position. Whoever was on the far right.
Carvalho, I think, tried to get up with it. It's
every which way you look at it, he has.
I think it's a pass he should make. Yeah. I think.
But by the by, other than that,
Jota could have scored his header. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, in the first half, but
no, it was one in the second half.
Lots of maybes. Haaland should have scored his header as well.
He has the one in the second half, doesn't he? Just after Moses saved. Glorious ball put in. It's just that bit too high for him.
Yeah.
But look,
they had that was their best chance for me. That one that came across, the Virgil headed over the bar. That was it for me. That was the game. We saw the rest of the game out really well. I thought we managed ourselves really well with the ball when we got it back. You know, we were really good in shape. We decided, okay, if you want the ball wide, we'll challenge you wide, but you're not having cheap passes into the middle,
which is what we've been giving away all season.
Yeah, I thought. Look, 1 sec. We'll just have one quick. Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk today for me were.
We're going to go through players on it that they were.
Yeah, we'll do it now because the lads are going to be on again tonight. So,
should we start back to front?
James Milner back to front. Yeah, Alisson Becker.
Excellent.
Distribution,
all the
calmness.
All the saves were cracking.
Milner
did really well. You know, I think he was protected, but you know, no silly dive-ins, no dickhead trying to be
aggressive
silly,
when he needed to be.
Aggressive, but without going overly aggressive.
Yeah.
Joe Gomez looked like a Rolls-Royce centre back. And listen, I was expecting Haaland just to sit on Gomez, and they did rotate a little bit. Van Dijk and Gomez were Van Dijk when he could was trying to get in front of him, but
some of the covering runs.
Yeah,
but he also made things difficult. Do you remember the first half? Haaland had that one chance. The ball was slid into him. And Gomez matched him for pace. And we all know Joe Gomez is rapid. You know, he's seriously good. But Haaland is different level. When he opens his legs, there's not many that stay with him. Virgil stayed with him. Gomez stayed with him. But I thought, to me, Joe Gomez today was outstanding.
And the best one is the corner right at the end. Gomez, Haaland gets his head and it goes out for a goal kick. But the reason getting much on it, Joe Gomez absolutely puts everything into it. The comment's gone now. So let me find it about Robbo. Oh,
Robbo back to his
Chris,
own self.
There is Chris. Yeah, you what? And listen, look, people know I've been quite critical of Tsimikas. He can't do what Robbo did today. He doesn't have that in him. He's just not that player. And I think Robbo's got better, clever interplay. I think he's a different type of crosser to him. So I think Tsimikas has his games where his type of crossing is what you need. Defensively, though, he's just levels above what Tsimikas is. Tsimikas to me is an excellent backup. And listen, he'll be fine whenever he's in. I don't worry.
Yeah,
he's not Andy Robbo. The midfield two. Let's talk him as a two because
they were a pair.
They were brilliant today. You know, Snidey, Fabinho was actually more aggressive in his tackles. He actually got his arse around the pitch a lot more.
Yeah.
His right wing and all that, but he's aggressive with his passing. Thiago's passing was much crisper, much sharper, much cleverer than it's probably been in the last 3 or 4 games.
He didn't dilly-dally on the ball either. He wasn't trying to take dribbles, take on it. He got caught a couple of times. But in general, his play was fantastic. The fact that he got the full 90, that will do his confidence the world of good as well. But yeah, really, really happy. If anyone has seen any Klopp comments after the game,
I've seen a Pep one. He was asked about the disallowed goal, and apparently his response was, "Well, this is Anfield, isn't it?" And that was it. Cracking, well done. Play into your own myth, yeah, tit. Anyway, the rest of the team. You can tell.
Look, we get into the midfield too. I thought as a pair they were excellent, and that was you're not against Mickey Mouse players. You are against elite players. I thought they stood up to everything. They were brilliant today. Yeah. Then you look at the left cam and the right cam, and Bobby in the 10. I thought they worked back so well. And when we got on the break,
it fell into a 4 or a 5 very quickly. Which I'll be honest, in the early iteration when we've done this 44, it's felt like a 4 or 2 and a massive 4 up there. This felt more compact, and it was just a nice way to leave Mo up.
Yeah,
which I'm fine with because it works. Jota's work rate's ridiculous. The amount of covering over there because Cancelo basically played right wing.
He played right wing, yeah.
That was the tactic. Play Cancelo right wing to keep Robbo back, so then you always have to play the ball to Milner. It's a sensible tactic because you would, but he gave them so much cover that it made him slightly less effective. Not ineffective, just less effective because Akanji had to keep coming out to fullback all the time. Bobby, I just thought he worked his bollocks off really well. I think he sacrificed his attacking play a little bit today. But
he did.
You saw the pass
he did.
The pass he did to Salah for the chance that it's the great Edison save, that he still gives you that. So, whereas when we played something like that in the United game, he was far too deep and he wasn't involved in anything. He got the balance right of being almost like a top for dime, but not quite.
Yeah.
And look, Harvey, I thought his interplay with Salah was really good. I thought he got up and he helped. He got in the attacks really well.
Yeah. Harvey was always looking to be on the ball. His head was always up. He always wanted the ball, and he was always available to take the ball on the half turn. And he's passing out. He was responsible with the ball, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
he wasn't going to give it. Once he had the ball, he wasn't going to give it away silly. He worked so hard going the other way that when he was on the ball,
Apparently, Klopp on his red card said, "It's the clearest foul I ever saw in front of a linesman," and he says, "Play on." You wonder why managers lose their shit sometimes.
Yeah, and especially given the context of the game, given the importance of the game and the position of where we are, every decision matters. And when you see someone as blatant as that, and a referee saying, "Just get on with it," nah, sorry, I want my manager kicking up a fuss and not sitting there sheepish and saying, "Okay, Anthony, I'll be quiet." Fuck that.
Which is
Give
what
fucking pelters.
Which is what other managers do with City.
Yeah, exactly.
Bollocks and then the number 9, Mr. Mo Salah,
Mr. Mohammed Salah,
ridiculously good. His movement was excellent. Yeah. It's a while since I've seen him deciding he's going to start pinning centre backs. I quite like this new physical side of him, which he's got in his game. Clever runs, but he was a leader from the front as well because he sacrificed himself in terms of did a lot of donkey work and running, which you don't always want Mo Salah to do. But I thought he was excellent in the first half, where although he's the number 9, he kept drifting to the right, and he was helping Harvey out. Who, let's be fair, he's still a 19-year-old kid, and he's still learning his trade, and you could tell he was covering him, telling him where he needed to be, helping him out, giving him the encouragement of do quick 1-2s with me, just to get your confidence up. Because second half, he did, in a nice way, he kind of left Harvey alone then, because he was kind of like, right, you know what you're doing now. I'll leave you alone. That's a leader. And he was ridiculous. He's a monster. I mean, he's a monster man anyway, the way he's built. And look, he gave City nightmares, absolute nightmares. Let's go through the subs as well, because let's be fair, Klopp's substitutions this year have been called into question. And some are rightly called into question, because some are very odd.
It was. It was just. I thought look. I think a lot of our substitutions this season so far has been by the numbers. It was a case that we're managing minutes for a lot of these players. We know the amount of games that we're playing. City don't play midweek. Their game's been called off. So
who they play midweek?
They were meant to be playing Arsenal, but Arsenal have to play their game against PSV midweek. It was a rearranged fixture. So,
the one that got rearranged because of the Queen's death. I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just one of those.
That game's going to be tasty later in the season, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? But I was looking at it at the subs and I thought it was by the numbers. It was the right subs at the right time, fresh legs, and the responsibility again. Carvalho when he came on, the responsibility that Carvalho showed.
I messaged you straight away. Carvalho said, "Right, Carvalho, you've got to match Harvey."
Yeah,
and to be fair to him, he did.
He did.
He's a different type of player. He is a more attacking player than Harvey, but he did well. He won his free kicks. He took his whacks. And he took plenty of them. Jordan, solid, sensible. No silly passes. No loopy shit. It was fired direct, and what you wanted him to do. Darwin, apart from nearly killing him for that bloody pass he doesn't make, the rest of it he did really well.
The rest of it was really good
because he got a Kanye booked who then couldn't go near him. Yeah. Diaz wasn't particularly keen on having someone that big running at him. And let's be fair, we're not that keen on having someone as big as Haaland run at us.
Running at you, not with the ball.
But even Neville was saying he's such a winning runner.
Chris. Klopp on Jota. He felt real pain in it. No idea how bad it is. When Diogo stays down, it's not good. It's not good with the World Cup only around the corner for him. So this is a big deal.
It's a shame.
And it looked like when he went down, he
knew straight away. He knew straight away. So he grabbed his hamstring straight away, which was
that's a worry. It is a worry for sure.
The hope is it's something they've caught early, but it doesn't look great. It's a shame because you know what? He's been unfortunate. That's his third hamstring injury now.
Yeah,
this year already. It's really unfortunate because you know what? He's been playing. He actually was playing really well. He was brilliant.
I was really happy with him. I was delighted with his performance. Who would you go for your man of the match? Because there is I'll give you man of the match. If you guys in the chat, man of the match and honourable mentions. You can't name all 11.
As great as Salah was, because pinning City centre back, he scores the winning goal. I've got to give it Joe Gomez. For the simple reason is he took a lot of shit, Joe Gomez, and I've tweeted out that I think a lot have forgotten how good a centre back defender Joe Gomez is. Joe Gomez's issue has always been fitness. Get him fit on a run. And we saw when him and Van Dijk were together for that tight winning season, nothing got past us. Rarely got past us. It was great to see. It was that sort of aggression. Well, now, it'll be interesting. If Konaté's fit next week, does he go back to right back?
It's one of those, isn't it? I mean, Vase is going from Milner. Gareth is saying Van Dijk. Claire's Gomez.
Van Dijk. Fair enough. That's that.
Praktar says Gomez. Tommy C. Milner nearly 37. What a performance. Absolutely. He was outstanding.
Yeah. Thiago was good, but look, I think Gomez to me because I'll be honest.
Ben Elliott, man of the match, honourable mention to VVC. Alisson Becker as well. Alisson Becker was brilliant today. His calmness on the ball. I get nervous when we play the ball back to Alisson so much.
We didn't do it as much, though, which was nice.
We didn't do it as much, but when we did, his calmness to bring the ball out the other side is such an outlet. It's such like a pressure valve release.
But what we did, which I think you called it out in the Rangers home game, was because we have a central midfield too, it's one less wide option for him to pass to. Yeah. What we've got at today is the two wider lads dropped a bit deeper to give him something to clip it to.
Give him options,
and then turn and go. Laszlo's gone for Mo, which is fair enough. GN's gone the save on Haaland and the assist. Give it to Alisson, which is fair enough. GN thinks Gomez gets the ball away too much. Well, wouldn't agree myself, but
it was one of those today. I thought it's very hard to pick holes in anyone's performance, so I'm not going to.
Virgil, another shout for Virgil.
Virgil was that clearance at the end.
That head is great, isn't it?
That was the pace, the power, but the reading of the game, the reading of the situation, the danger, sniffing out danger. That was outstanding. That was brilliant. That's the difference between coming away with 3 points and getting one. But look, Chris, my takeaway is coming, and my glass is nearly empty again. So
my can's empty, but I've got to find some food now.
We're gonna have to let these people go and have some tea.
But listen, if you want to hear about us beating City, you want to hear about us beating City again. The guys are all back at 10 o'clock. Fat back 4. It'll be Gav and the guys. It's great. This Kev. We should do you know what? Liverpool should do this more often.
Absolutely, they should.
These are far more.
It's highly disgraceful that they don't do this enough.
Cool. So the guys will be back at 10. Guys back at 10 o'clock. Fat back 4. Then we're back to winners and losers. I've got a feeling Pep might make an appearance on that. Just calling it early. You never know. You and me are back on Wednesday.
There's I think there's a show coming up Thursday that people are going to want to keep an eye out for. But more on that down the line.
Bless him. Ben here, before he goes. 4:30 a.m. here. Just going to keep on drinking. Fair play.
Good lad, Ben. 4 and 6 tomorrow. Just tell him Kev said.
By the way, you missed this, Kev. It's on your nickname, Brothers Grin. Because that's what we've been all season, proper grins.
But hopefully that's it. Hopefully we're done with that. And this is going to be the new Chris and Kev, where we're going to have big cheesy smiles and nothing but good things to say from here on in. I'll be cool.
Listen, smash the like button, share, and after the show, give us feedback in the comments.
Throw in your comments on man of the match and everything else that goes along with today. What a win, lads. I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. What a game.
There we go. So we'll leave it there, Kev. So we beat the reigning champions, and we'll see where we go from there. So we're up to 13 points. The march goes on, Kev. Come on.
March goes on. The race for the quad is back. Fat back 4 is back at 10 tonight. Can't wait.
Till then, take care of yourselves. See you later, guys.